Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. I hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitch week. I apologise if you can see my project flying around. I have a tiger cat trying to get on my knee again because he's a pain. So yes, so this has been a long time coming, this stitch with me. I just have not had the time. So as you can see, or you probably can't, I'm working on my supersized tiger family. That's going to be the best way of actually getting some work done on this one this week, because I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to. Come on then, if you're getting up. Come on, wait. Up. No, we don't want to. So yes, so it's been a while since I've done one of these, so hopefully we can. I'm hoping you can see where I am. Hopefully we can get a decent length stitch with me. So it's warmed up a little bit here, not much, but a little bit. The nights aren't as cold, we're still under 10 degrees at night time, but it's not as cold as it has been. The other morning we got up, it was -2. So you'd have thought it would have got colder with it being winter, but no, we seem to be getting warmer. There we go, he's finally got up. So you'll probably hear the cat purring in the video as well, so I do apologise. When he gets going, he's like an outboard motor. Stop moving the place. So I apologise again if you are watching this and the project moves all of a sudden. That's because of this pain in the butt cat that decided he wants to sit on my knee. And I've got one of his hairs tangled in. Which also means I can't sit as close as I want to because the cat is right in front of me. I didn't think he'd want to come and sit on my knee because he's just been having a mad half hour flying around the house. I think because the kittens are asleep, got no one to terrorise, so he thought he'd come and terrorise me instead. So this is going to be fun. You can't sit there like that, no. So I do have a couple of questions to go through, I know that much. I'll say it's a couple of weeks since I've done one of these. I can't remember how many questions I've got, so we will find out. I apologise as well if at any point there's a cut in the video. I still have this cough, it's not wanting to leave me. It must like me that much. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still hanging around. Shane's had the cold as well, and his cough seems to be hanging around. So it must be part of the new cough one, new cold, where the cough just likes to linger. So yes, I'll say he had the cold before me, and he's had, I think he's having trouble with his sinuses as well, to be fair. But it seems to be hanging around a lot longer than he normally has it for. So I've had mine maybe about 3 weeks now, and he had his about a week before. It started his a week before me, so he's had it nearly a month. He's mainly got a cough, and I was saying, he's moaning about his sinuses, so he does suffer from, you call it sinusitis, or whatever you call it. So he does suffer from that. It is a possibility on there. There's no point going to the doctors about it, because they're probably not doing anything. They tell him just to buy some over-the-counter medication. So, which he was going to do the other day, but because he had a coughing fit, he decided he weren't going into the chemist, just in case. I made him test himself the other day for COVID, because we had tea and he said he couldn't taste his food. So I know that's one of the signs of COVID, so I made him do a test, but that came back negative. That was fun watching him do that one. So, work's going okay. It seems to have got an awful lot busy, which is expected for this time of year because it's coming towards the end of the financial year over here. So everybody and anybody gets their orders in to try and get as much stuff done before end of June. Hence the reason I had to work on Saturday. Although I did tell them I didn't want to work. I think I've done that stitch wrong, yes. No, I've just done it wrong again. I told them I didn't want to work because I've got my college work to do. And they know I've got my college work. But then the boss begged, he said he was really desperate. So I said, fine, I'll work, but I won't be working any more Saturdays until August. The unit I'm doing on my college, Taggy, you can't sit there. Oh, I'm going to move you. Oh, sorry, boy. It's not easy having a big cat laid on your arms. Yeah, the section of my course that I'm doing is a really big piece. So it's all about doing financial reports. Now, normally, I mentioned this before, I think. Normally, where am I? Normally, my units are only a couple of weeks, maybe about 6 weeks or so, and this one's 12 weeks, or just over 12 weeks for this section alone. So this one's a big one. So I'm hoping after this one it gets a lot quicker. There's 3 assessments in this one, which is going to be fun. All 2 weeks apart. I know how to spread them out. And again, I've got a stupid assessment, which is doing a role play. Why they have to have role plays in assessments is beyond me. When they know you're doing the work, right? Because you have to do your assessments on your written assessments. Well, yes, I've got a stupid role play to do as well at some point. That's going to be fun. So I'm just waiting for my books to turn up. Now, they didn't tell you about all the books you have to buy doing this course, so I had to order 2 books for this one because it kind of ties into another unit. So I've had to buy 2 books for this one, but at least I know I've got the book then for the next part. So Mum's doing well. She seems to be doing okay. She's looking forward to me hopefully getting over there this Christmas. Now, I did look at flights, and I looked one day, and a return flight, and this is in dollars, was 1,500, I think, something like that, dollars, which is roughly around about average, what it used to be anyway before the pandemic and that. So I was like, okay. And then I looked a couple of days later, and the price had shot up. It was $3,500. I was like, that wants to come down. I can't afford that much. And they're now blaming it obviously on the war in Russia, because everyone blames everything on the war in Russia for everything. Well, Ukraine, sorry. So everyone's putting the prices up because of the war in Ukraine, which I don't see how that affects the whole world, but hey, there we go. So yeah, so the price is now just over $3,000. So I'm hoping that's going to come down again in not so distant future. I would really like to go home and visit everybody It's been 4 years since I've seen my family. But by the sounds of it, I may not be getting home this year. Unless it comes down drastically in the next couple of months. Now over here there is the travel agent called Flight Centre. Now with them you can actually, it's like any other holiday place, you can book your flights, and as long as you've got it paid off before, I think it's a month before you're due to fly. So that is an option, but still, trying to find over $3,000, it's not going to be easy. So we'll see how we go on that one. But I have a funny feeling, unless it comes down drastically, I won't be going to the UK this year. Shane was at home today. He was going to cut the grass, because with all the rain we've had, we've not been able to cut the grass. It's just been too boggy, because obviously the soil over here I think is more like a clay or something like that. So the water just sits there for ages. Half the yard is dry and can be cut. The other half, because it doesn't get much sun in winter, it's still like a bog. So I don't think that'll be getting cut. But his sister phoned up and she's trying to sort out a ride-on lawnmower or something. So of course he had to go over there because his sister phoned. So ours will probably get cut in about another 6 weeks, because no doubt his sister will want to cut the grass again next week. Oh, speaking of Shane, he's now been driving over a year for the trucks. Yes, excuse the back, it's messy. So work booked him in for his next license. So I don't know how they all work. So his first one was a HR license, which is a heavy rig, I believe. His second one that he's gone in for is a HC, which I don't know what that stands for. I think it's heavy coupling or something like that. Something stupid. So basically it means he can tow a trailer. So he had some lessons 2 weeks ago, and they went all right. And then he had his test last week? Yeah, Tuesday just gone. Well, by the time you're looking at this, last Tuesday. So he had his test for that, and he passed that, so he can now tow a trailer. So he's happy. The boss is happy, because I think what they're probably going to do is, once he's got used to the trailer on his truck, is they're going to start sending him on the long trips down to the mill to pick up the wood, because the boss is in his 70s and he does all the long distance driving at the moment, because he can pull the big truck. So I don't know if they're going to swap the trucks over, if Shane's going to get a new truck, or if they're just going to make Shane use the truck he's got at the moment with the trailer. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing, to be fair. So yeah, but he can't get to the trailer for his truck at the moment because the boss buried it. Well, where the boss put it, he then put a load of wood in front of it, so you can't get to the trailer. And the boss's son, who normally does all the forklifting, has been sick, so he wasn't in the mood for trying to dig it out, he said. So who knows when he's going to get his trailer on his truck. But then his truck goes in for, they call it machinery, I think it's like an MOT or something. So that goes in for that. At the end, 28th, I think he said, something like that. So he's now having to get the truck prepped. So he was doing some painting on it the other day to cover some of the rust up. So get rid of the rust, treat the rust, and then paint over it and So he's been doing some work on there, and then he's got some more work to do on it. So he said he's probably going to go down there this weekend and get that done. And I said that's fine, because I'm not going to be at work anyway, because I've told him I'm not doing no more overtime for a while until I get this unit done. So yes. So Shane also had his, it has been a while, because Shane also had his birthday at the beginning of the month. So it has been a while since I've done one of these, because it wasn't his birthday. So yeah, he's had his birthday as well. My niece had her birthday last week, and she's now 17. So I sent her a card and some money. So, but other than that, I think that's about it for daily updates. I'll say, if you watch my latest update video, you'll see they posted that, I don't know when it's going to happen, Pattern Keeper is going to be coming onto Apple. So when that happens, I will be switching over from the Samsung to the Apple, because I prefer Apple to Samsung, although it will seem strange doing my stitching on a different tablet, since I've used this one for so long now. But this tablet is actually Shane's. I commandeered it so I could use Pattern Keeper. So he's been using one of my old ones and then moans like mad because it's so slow and the battery doesn't last very long. So he'll be able to have his tablet back, which he'll be happy about. And again, apologies, the pterodactyls are out in force today. So, let's get into some questions. Let me just get this where I need it to be, and then I'll find the questions I need. Right. It took me a while to find the very first question. I had to go back a fair bit on my photos. So, the first one is from Karen Tang. I hope I pronounced your name right there, Karen. Who asked, can I ask for some details on your focus piece? I've started a big project, so wondered how big will it be once completed? So this one is, well, with the fabric I've got it on, is 1.4 meters wide by, I think it's a meter wide or long. So yeah, this one's a big piece because I did it on 25 count. I didn't realise you could do 28 count at the time. So yeah, so this one's going to be a really big piece. When did I start it? So I started this in 2019. After I finished doing Majestics Tiger, which is the one that's normally on the wall behind me in my update videos. So yeah, I started it in, I think it was, well, I started just before I finished Majestics Tiger, just because I wanted to start it. I think I started this in maybe January or February 2019. So yeah, but I didn't work on it much because I was concentrating on getting the Majestics Tiger finished. And then because we moved a couple of times, it just got put away. So I didn't really start working on it properly until 2020. 2021. Yeah, last year when I made it my focus piece. So it didn't really get much work on it until then. So I've done a couple of pages, and last year I did, I think it was 12 pages or something like that. This year not so much, I've only done 1 and a bit pages. Have you completed anything else in that sort of size before? No, not this big. This is the biggest project I have on the go at the moment. That's it at the moment, because obviously I'm going to be starting another supersized one, or maybe 2 soon. But this is the largest one I have for now. So no, I've not completed anything else at this size. Everything else has been small. Do you have a timescale for target completion? So my timescale for completing it is 10 years. That's what I originally worked out. Whether it turns out to be 10 years or not, who knows. But from the amount of pages I got done last year, I think that dropped it down to 7 years. But obviously it's not my focus piece as such this year. It's not my main focus piece, should I say. Whereas last year I was doing it 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, which were my main days for stitching. This year I'm only doing it on a Saturday, but obviously after doing my videos and stuff like that, I don't get as much time to stitch on it as I normally used to. So yes, and roughly ideas an hour of the time committed to a project this size. It takes to complete. It just depends, 1, on how fast you are at stitching, and 2, how much time you've got to put into it. So I couldn't tell you time scale. I mean, when I was working on this last year, I was working on it the week, both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday after doing my videos and uploading them and everything. I would generally stitch on it probably on a Saturday for 6 hours, and on a Sunday for maybe 10 hours. Ish, something like that. So yeah, so it's going to take a lot of hours. Unfortunately, I don't keep track of how many hours I work on projects. I just keep a count on my stitches. That was that question. So I hope that answered everything for you there, Karen. The next one's from Craft Witch Shez. This is going back to obviously in May, because she was doing 200 stitches on 22 projects in the month of May. So for me, she's asking about my 28 count. She says it's not Lugana, is it, for the 28 count even weave? So if you're talking about this stuff that I normally use, the gridded one, then yeah, that is classed as Lugana. And yes, I think everything I've got is on a Lugana. The Koala Salamander Deer Creek is Brittany Lugana. This one is just normal Lugana, Easy Creek Lugana. I think that's how it comes up on the label that I get for it. And how do I find the dark fabrics? As I have one on blue 18 count Ada and I had to get a light, especially working on the dull days. So yes, I also had to buy a light. As you know, I've got my White Tiger by David Penfound. That one is on 28 count navy Ada, even weave, and I was struggling with seeing that one, so that one also I bought a light for, so I could see what I was doing. So yeah, so the sorry, I just did a car. It sounded like it was in the yard. So yeah, so the navy fabric is harder to see the holes on. So hence the reason I bought a light to do mine on, but I haven't actually stitched on the piece since I bought the light. That one is actually going to be probably next week's rotation. I'm just working on the one colour at the moment because I only had a couple of threads left of it on from my bobbin, so I'm just going to use it up. This is my last thread of it. So yeah, the darker ones are definitely more interesting to stitch on, let's put it that way. Right, that's that one. Next one is from Sue. Who asked like she'd like to hear my thoughts on the new hoop I bought from Pain Free Crafts, which is the Nerge hoop, and I'm not a fan of it. I prefer my Q-snaps. It doesn't hold the fabric as tight as I like it. Now somebody did suggest a video to me of someone who shows you how to load them so that you get really tight fabric. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet, but as it stands at the moment, I am not a fan of them. Let's put it this way: apparently the circle ones, the round ones, are better because they've got a much thicker edge to them, so that kind of holds them a bit tighter than the rectangular ones. I mean, it's all right for the small projects that I'm doing. I mean, at the moment I've got the Blackberry Dragon in it, so it's okay for that. I mean, it's not as tight as I wanted it to be, but it holds it tight enough for me to still stitch on it. So yeah, so now I prefer my Q-snaps, so I definitely won't be. I don't think I'll be buying any more of them unless I can figure out a way of getting them really, really tight. And the way I could figure that one out is by putting some, I don't know, maybe some fabric in between the hoop and the fabric itself to try and give it a bit more something to grip onto. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'll watch that video that I was suggested and see if that does any difference. So then I'll get back to you on that one. She also says, please tell me why you don't tell Shane about your FlossTube channel so you can record when he's home instead of having to wait until he's out of the house. So, I mentioned this before. I've not told Shane about it because, as I say, I do get, as I said before, it's not a lot, but I do get a little bit of extra money from doing FlossTubes. I suppose that depends on how many videos you get put up. But if Shane knows I was making a bit of extra money, then he will all of a sudden need to buy everything because it's something he's always wanted and he really, really needs it. I've mentioned this before. He always like that. Really, really needs it. He's wanted one for ages. You buy it and then he uses it once and then goes away and never gets used again. I could probably make loads of money from just selling the stuff that he's bought that he no longer uses. So yeah, so. Plus Shane has a habit as well. If you're doing something, i.e. even when I'm doing my college course, so normally I kick him out of the house when I'm doing my college, he has a habit that he has to come in and show you something he's been watching on TikTok, or he has to come in and ask like 6,000 questions that he knows could wait 5 minutes, but he has to ask it anyway. Or he will wander in with whoever's on the phone with, normally it's his sister or his mum and dad, on loudspeaker and just stand there. And you're just like, go away. So yes, unless you want to hear Shane's family's conversations, there's no point in telling him. I will do at some point. When I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll tell him. So that's a long way off yet. I'm not even at 4. So yeah, I will tell him at some point, maybe. So congratulations on your 12 years together. Thank you. And how is 7 o'clock too late to go bowling? So when I mentioned about looking at the bowling leagues over here, And I said that the two latest is like 7 o'clock. This is like through the week. So not at the weekend. So it's through the week. So 7 o'clock at night through the week. Bearing in mind I go to bed at 9:30. So if going from previous experience, like 2 or 3 games of bowling takes about between 2 and 3 hours. So I will take it to 10 o'clock and then I've got to drive home from where it is. So it would be more about 11 o'clock going to bed and then getting up at 4:30. Yeah, no thank you. If it was 7 o'clock at the weekend, that wouldn't bother me at all. So yeah, so no, I haven't looked any more into the bowling leagues or anything like that at the moment. Just haven't had the time. Plus the fact that everything's gone up over here as well. I'm assuming it's gone up, from what I understand, in most of the world due to the inflation, and our interest rates have just gone up again. The interest rates have gone up in the UK again as well, because I got a message from my mortgage company to tell me that the mortgage is going to be going up yet again. Well, luckily for me, it's not normally a lot. It's normally only a couple of pounds, so I can cope with that. I don't even know if I'm in a shot here. No, I'm just out of shot. I've only got 3 stitches to do. So. So that was it from Sue. Next one's from, yes, I'm going to pronounce this completely wrong, so I do apologise. Juanita Drexel. I hope I pronounced that right. Who asked how I deal with all the fabric on a large piece like one of my hates. Well, this is the largest piece I've got, and I did show a video of how I actually deal with it. Basically, I just have it all folded over, and so I have it clamped in on either side, and then the extra I have folded up, and it's tied together with those magnetic, you can't see, these magnetic cable ties, wherever my finger is, a bit further up, you can't see. I have some magnetic cable ties anyway on here. So I have it held in place with those, so they're out the way. Some people will stick it in a pillowcase at the side of them. I've heard a couple of people mention that. Any excess fabric they put in a pillowcase to keep it clean and out the way. I just have it either crammed under the grime guard or have it tied and rolled up at one side to keep it out the way. Most of them, I'm going to say, I just have it folded up at the bottom and then rolled up and then clamped in place with the magnetic cable ties, and that keeps it out of the way, and then it's not too bulky. Just trying to thread this needle so I can end this piece of thread. And yet again we struggle with the threading of a needle. I really think I ought to go for a bigger iron needle. Mind you saying that, this one is a Bowie needle, and the ones that I get with the pain-free kits are John James, and I could thread a John James needle better than a kind of Bowen needle, and the Bowen needle has a bigger eye, so figure that one out. Missed. Lost my scissors, found them. And that's that. Apologies for the noise. Just put my bobbin away. So, well, 26th of May, this question. This one is from Darth Vader Stitches. And she's like, so, Shane's phone goes, cheers to the weekend, and yours yells out, I don't care. Yep. She went, my youngest wants to know who named your cats. He named his Stinkerbell. Also the name for a cat. So, I named the cats, actually. So, I named Tiger because he's stripy and orange, funnily enough. So that's how he got his name, because we couldn't think of anything at the time. And he just kept pouncing on everything and attacking everything, so I named him Tiger. Then we got the kittens. And Ginger got called Ginger because he's ginger. Austin used to have a cat in the UK years and years ago called Ginger. So that's how he got his name. And then I couldn't think of one for Kitty. So she just got Kitty, because as you do when you still decide on a name, you're like, come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. So she got called Kitty. And that's how it stuck. So, but yes, no. I have a habit of choosing some good names. I actually used to have a cat in the UK called Kitty as well. And she was such a softie. We used to have a cat in the UK called Baby, shortened to Babs. That one was actually my auntie's cat. I don't know why, for some reason she had to get rid of her. So we ended up with her. She was my cat. She was a pure black cat, and she was the softest cat you had ever known. She was a gorgeous cat, and she died of old age. She got to 16 before she passed away. So yeah. We had a cat called Mama, because when we got her, she had kittens, so we called her Mama. We had 2 wild cats, and one was called Friendly, one was called Frightened, because one was a bit more friendly than the other one. So yeah, we got Friendly and Frightened. I had a black and white cat over there, so I called him Felix, because he looked like Felix the cat from the cat food box. So he got called Felix. I'm very original with my names. I had a grey cat called Smokey. And another black cat called Ebony, and one called Jingles. And we've had loads of cats. As I say, my mum used to be in the cat protection, so we had a lot of cats at one point. So yeah, we have some nice, weird and crazy names. It's like my German Shepherd I had. I called her Holly because I got her at Christmas time. And I can't think of any other name. I wanted a Christmassy name kind of name for her. So I can't think of anything, so she got Holly. Although 9 out of 10 she answered to Puppy. So I think she was 12 when I had her put down because her back end went. But until she passed, she always answered to Puppy. It's like I call the Kitty and Ginger. I call them kittens, and they're almost 3. But I still call them kittens, and Tiger's only a couple of months older than them. But yeah, they're the kittens. Tiger's the oldest one. Next question is from Sharon, who asked, are your cats indoor cats? Yes, they are. Over here in Australia, you're not allowed to let your cats roam. It's illegal because they kill the native wildlife, which is obviously a thing that cats do because they go hunting. So yeah, so you're not allowed to actually let your cats roam. It's illegal. There are loads of stray cats over here as well. Most of them are probably from where people just dumped them when they moved house, and where they're moving to they won't allow them to take pets, so they just dump them. So there's a lot of wild cats out here anyway. But yes, so all my cats are indoor cats. I'm gonna say Tiger was an outdoor cat when he found us. And they say he's not no more. She says her cats go, favourite toy is a tape measure and goes mad for cotton buds. Kitty goes mad for cotton buds. If you drop one on the floor, she goes mental for it. And it's like the little plastic wrap things that you get around plugs when you first get a plug. Well, when you first buy something electrical and you have that little wrap that holds the cable together for the plugs. Yeah, she loves them. She'll play with one of them for hours. But yes, they definitely are strange and wonderful creatures, cats. They all have their own individual personalities. Tiger's is being a little shit. I mean, he's always bullying the others. I think that's all the questions. I did have. Oh no. Next one's from Danielle, who's the Cardiff stitcher, who asked with regards to my elephant puzzle piece, will I be leaving the floss on the floss cards? So the answer to that is yes. They are quite sturdy floss cards, so they will stay on there until they fall to bits. But I'm going to say they seem sturdy enough, so they seem like they're going to last quite a while, to be fair. So yeah, so they will be staying on there for the foreseeable future until I rip one or whatever. Well, so far they seem sturdy enough to me. I've not managed to pull a thread too hard that it started to rip or anything like that. So they should last, I'm hoping. Next one from Jodie. Well, last video I did when I had the man flu. It's just where Shane was that day. Usually he's gone, or does he know? Right, making floss tubes, so no, he still doesn't know. And he probably disappeared to his sisters. I can't remember. It was a while ago. If it wasn't his sisters, it was down to his mum and dad's. I think he was over to his sisters. He's always over at his sisters for some reason or other. So when was this? 4th of June, so I don't know why he was over there. Probably having a meal or something, I can't remember now. I know he went over there for a meal with his niece, who is now due to have the baby soon. She is, her mum was telling me, 36 weeks. Yeah, she's 36 weeks now, so she's not got long left to go till the baby's born. Still don't know what she's calling it yet, and apparently she may have changed the name from, it was either Dallas or Hudson, and apparently that may have changed now, but she's not telling him what she's calling him until he's born, so we will see. So yeah, so she hasn't got long left now till she has the baby. I don't think she's got everything for it yet, Which sounds about right. Shane went out with them last weekend to go shopping to buy stuff for the baby. I don't think they bought much. I gave them some money to buy something from us, and they never spent it. So who knows when they're gonna buy everything they need. Some of these answered the other week in my update, so I'm just trying to find the right ones. Answered that one. And that, I think, is it for questions. Yep. So that's all the questions. So what are we at? Oh, 46 minutes. That makes a change. It's normally 36. So there will be a mid-year whip parade being done at the end of June, beginning of July. I know that one's probably going to take me a while. I think the last whip parade I did took over an hour. I've added a couple more projects since then. So it's definitely, that one's going to be a long one to do, especially sorting out, adding the pictures and everything in. It's going to be fun. So I'm hoping the first weekend of July will be when I'll be able to get that filmed. So it'll be out during that week. And then if I get a Stitch With Me done as well, you'll get 3 videos in 1 week. Aren't you the lucky people? Assuming I can do the whip parade all in one and I don't have to split it. So if I split it, you'll get 4 videos in 1 week. Typical. Got a knot at the top where the eye is. Don't know how I've managed that. Let's say it's a bolted needle, so it's not meant to split your threads, but I've managed to split it anyway. Never mind. So I've got a couple of new starts coming up. I've got one in beginning of July for Gail. That's Gail Phillips on YouTube. It's her birthday, and she's doing a tropical themed stitch along, if you like. So I'm doing, if you don't watch her channel, she completed a turtle by Aura TM. I think that's what it is, called Quaker Turtle. I'm going to do that one on a piece of like tie-dyed fabric with red silks from Silks For You. I've got the Dragons of the Sabbat. That one I'm just waiting on Sarah from Pain Free Crafts to let me know when she's ready to start that, and then I'm going to be starting that one with a couple of people. I've got my supersized piece to do, which will be the Waterhole Guardians. No, Waterhole Master, get the right one. So I've got that one to do. And then I think I've got enough fabric to do another supersize as well, so that'll be another supersize starting. And now I can't remember. what I just stitched. That, yeah, that's fine. So I've got that one to do. And then I've still got a couple of kits that I've got that need starting. So what I'm thinking is I may see about getting some stuff started this year, and then next year I'm not starting anything. It's going to be a year of no starts and try and get a lot of progress done on some pieces. Maybe get a fair few pieces finished next year. Maybe not everything will get worked on next year, and just concentrate on a couple of main pieces and get them finished. So it cuts down my whips. But then that means I'll probably start everything the year after, which I don't want to do. I want to try and get them down. Well, funny thing, by the end of the year, I'll probably end up with about 60 whips or something like that. So I need to try and start whittling those down to get to a reasonable amount where I can cope with them all. But we will see. All right. So what we at? 51 minutes. Did I do another string? Oops. Yeah, I'll do another strand and then we'll call it a day, because I still need to get my college work done, and then I've got to get my update video uploaded. It's the only thing when you work on a Saturday, I never have enough time on a Sunday to get everything done that I want to get done. I've got the washing done, I've got that part done. Got my update video filmed, just not uploaded yet. I wanted to get this one done, so then it's done this time. I've done the housework. Just got my college work to do now. But that one, I suppose, next weekend will probably be the main weekend I do on that and start the assessment. Because the first assessment's due on I think it's the 10th of July. But there's a lot you have to work out for this one, I think, from what I had a quick look at it to see how it was. So yes, I'm going to be definitely busy in July. So depending on the first assessment goes, depends on if I need to take any time off doing floss tubes to do my second assessment. Well, hopefully it won't be too bad and I can get it done. It may mean that some of my stitching may go down a bit, but that's fine. My fabric's come loose. Never mind. So again, guys, if none of you have joined the Facebook page and you are interested in joining the Facebook page, just to reiterate what I said in my update video, that there are a couple of questions that you need to answer. If you don't answer them, you will not be accepted. But a fair few people just requesting to join and not filling in the questions. Well, not answering the questions, should I say. And the thing is, it tells you you've got to answer them before you even start filling it in, well, requesting to join. So the sun is coming through this window and it's right on the spot where I'm stitching. It's making it a bit difficult to find where I've stitched. Well, from my angle anyway. I don't know what it's like for you guys up there. So Christmas in July, we're starting soon as well. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And I think by the time I finish that one, some of those projects can go away until the end of the year, because I've had at least 5 days on them. Because I say I only wanted to do like 5 days on most of my projects. I think some of them have already had 5 days, but never mind. And then in September, instead of doing Sampler September, I'm going to do Sal September. So I'm going to work on all the projects I have set up for a Sal. So that one will be my Sunset Koala, my Stanley Morrison Dragon, my Elephant puzzle. There'll be the Dragons of the Sabbat, Gale's, the one I'm doing for Gale, and then there's the animals, African Mammal Cell, I think it is, the one I'm doing with Stacey from 911 Stitcher. So I've got a couple of cells on the go, so I need to get some progress on them because I'm being left way behind. So yeah, well, I think it's going to be a case of working on some stitch alongs. I can't remember if my Cold Brave is on the stitch along or not. I don't think it is. I don't think anybody's working on that one with me, so that one won't be on there. So I think I got 4. I think I got 5, maybe 6 stitch alongs. So I need to get my finger pulled out on them ones. That one that don't want stitching, don't mind. Oh, I don't know if you know as well. Sorry, advertised, and then somebody else messaged me on here. Yeah, finally bringing out Avatar 2. So you know I'm going to be going to the pictures in December. I think that's when it's due out. And you see it on Facebook and it's like, yeah, alright then. Whether it's right or not is a different thing, because the amount of times you see things on Facebook and you know it's not true. I mean, the amount of times that they tell you what kind of iPhone's coming out next or what movie's getting released, and it never does. So I was like, yeah, alright, whatever, I'll believe it when I see it. And then one of you guys messaged me to tell me that they'd been to the pictures and they actually showed the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, cool, it's definitely coming out. So you know I'm going to be going to see that. Well, that just depends whether I'm in the UK or over here. But I don't care, I'm going to see it anyway. Even if Shane doesn't want to go and see it, I will go on my own. I've never gone to the pictures on my own, so that'll be fun. Well, if any of you guys tried, now, I think it's Celia, it was in the Facebook group, she mentioned that she's now doing a new method of stitching, which is called the Royal something or other. Royal Rose. Have any of you ever tried that? And if you don't know what it is, basically, I watched a video on it the other day, because, as I say, someone mentioned it, so I thought I'll see what it is. And they reckon they can get a lot more stitching done doing it this way. So it was something I thought, oh, I might try. Well, I haven't decided yet. I just want your opinions if you've tried it. But basically, you work in, well, how this woman does it, she does it in a block. So she'll do 2 squares, so that's 200. So she'll work 200 at a time. And she completes 1 colour in each of them. and then she'll move across. So she goes across the whole width of the project. I haven't got a frame big enough for that. So yeah, so she will work across the full width of the project, then come back and do the next 2 blocks at a time and stitch across. So I was watching it, and she says she doesn't get column lines because how she stitches it, she'll stitch these 2, and then any of those threads she'll park into there if they're needed. But she says she doesn't get column lines. Now, she does the away thread to end, so she moves across 2. So she says that stops her from getting page lines. So have any of you guys tried it, and if so, what do you think about it? Or do you do your own kind of version like similar to that? I say I only know it as Royal Rose is what I was told it was called. I'm intrigued by it. I might give it a try on a project to see how it goes, but obviously I'll just do like 1 page at a time, just in case you do get any kind of column lines, because I don't want to be stitching on something and find out I get column lines from doing it. So if any of you have done that kind of method before, so it's not the typewriter method like what Sarah, Stitching Mummy, does. It's completely different. Because whereas with Sarah's it was, you pick the first colour and then just stitch it wherever your thread goes to. This one, you just stick within the two squares. I suppose you could extend it to 3 or 4. But yeah, you just stick within 2 squares and then park it in that same column, but end it a couple of rows over from how I get the gist of it anyway. So if you've tried that method, or tried something very similar to that, let me know how you go. Do you get column lines or not? But I'm going to say if you don't, I might give it a try, because as I say, one of the people on my Facebook group says she gets a lot more stitching done doing that method than she would normally. So I thought, well, that might speed up some things and make some projects finish quicker. Or at least a couple of pages finish quicker. I'll say this one's getting there slowly. I still want to try and get this page finished by the end of June, but whether I do or not is a different thing. Depends how much time I get to put into it. That's that. So, which one did I just do? That didn't do that. Okay. So what did we get in? So we got 196 stitches in. That's not too bad. How long was the video? Just over an hour. Well, that's not too bad then. 196 stitches for a first stitch with me back after so long. So I'm going to leave it there then, guys. So again, and I managed to make it through without coughing, which is even better. I did have a drink of coffee during it, but never mind. So again, guys, if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop those down below. Again, let me know if you've done what's called the Royal Rose method, or something similar to that one, how you get on, or how you got on with it, so then I can give it a try. I haven't decided what project I'm going to try on yet. It'll probably be a piece that I haven't started yet. So again, if you've got any questions or comments, then please feel free to drop those down below, or again, email me. My email address, as always, is dizzystitcher@gmail.com, or I'm on Instagram on the Dizzy Stitcher. You can message me on there as well. So until next time, guys, which will be my update video, take care, stay safe, happy stitching. Thank you very much for watching, much appreciated. So until next time, guys, bye-bye.